Imagine losing $30,000 in just 2 years.
He has a 21 BMW X5 and you're flipped on it?
Yeah.
How much?
12.
Carfax Value said that her car was worth $1,130. Right after I plugged it into Carfax, I went and had my manager pull a payoff, and her payoff through Westlake is $13,100.
Okay, so today we're going to be taking a look at some good old-fashioned car depreciation. We have a ton of different examples of people losing their shirts when it comes to the value of their vehicles. And with the way things are headed, the prices, the payments, the insurance costs, it's just going to keep getting worse. We have a lot to go over today, along with comments from you guys from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. But let's start off with someone who clearly couldn't afford the vehicle they wanted, but that didn't stop them from buying, and now they're severely underwater.
He has a 21 BMW X5 and you're flipped on it?
Yeah.
How much?
12.
All right, let's see what it's worth. It's got the beautiful chocolate interior. Why are you trying to get rid of it?
I just can't afford the payments no more.
How much are the payments?
$960 a month.
How long have you had this car?
I only had it for like 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah. And then I had the issue with my wife, so.
Oh, you're married? How young are you?
25.
Damn. Look at you, man. Was this her car?
Yeah, she was driving.
So we need to make sure this does not hurt your credit, in other words. How much do you owe on it?
48.
2021 BMW X5 with 65,000 miles on it. I'm seeing MMR is around 35. Damn. Thing's brand new.
I don't know if I'd say it's brand new with 60,000 miles on a BMW, still owing almost $50,000, all for your wife or possibly ex-wife to be rolling around in her nice fancy white BMW to show off to everybody else. And you knew right off the bat you could not afford it. You've only made 2 payments. What am I really supposed to say? People are so hard-headed that you just can't talk them out of it, I guess. $960 a month for a car note is insane. I struggle to pay $315. Well, it's about to get a lot worse throughout the rest of this video. My 2022 Hyundai Ioniq 5 payments were $1,125. I guess I could have had a BMW for less. What kind of deal is that? This episode's going to be brutal.
I'm going to tell you the biggest thing going on in the car business right now. Can't speak for everybody, right? I just know about our dealership and our market, but I talk to about 300 customers a month, and so this is where all this is coming from. People are so upside down right now, and I'm not talking $2-3 grand upside down. I'm talking $10,000 and $15,000 upside down on their vehicle. And generally, you know, that happens. Like if you've got bad credit, you've got a high interest rate, then you probably have got warranties and gap, and you're not paying down the car near as fast as you should. But I'm talking about good credit. I mean, I've seen this month alone probably 6 or 7 people that have 800 credit and above that are $10,000 and $15,000 flipped on their vehicle. And the crazy thing about the situation is these are people that they are not going to miss a payment. They are not going to do anything that would jack their credit up. But they're in a spot right now like they have to keep the vehicle they have. And if you're in this business, you'll see this every month. But this month particularly, I feel like I have seen more than I've ever seen with people that are just buried in their car that they're driving.
And that clip goes extremely well with a comment from one of you guys. This was me a couple of years ago. I had an 815 credit score, and a used car dealership initially offered me about 12% for 6 years when I brought up financing. They acted surprised when I wasn't interested. I guess that's not the majority of people's sentiment though. Even with good credit, you're still getting a bad deal. And if you bought during COVID with all of those markups, you're in an even worse situation. We could take a look at some of the comments from this clip. Had a customer trading in a 2024 Ineos Grenadier, called around and it's worth $65,000 when he owes $91,000 and he had great credit. I do think they look cool. It's similar to a Defender. It's not $91,000 owed cool. Been wondering how people could afford these $80,000 vehicles. Most can't, but so many don't realize that until it's too late.
I just turned 19 and I have a $17,000 car loan. I want out of this car loan so bad that it doesn't make any type of sense. But I kind of feel like I'm at a rock and a hard place because if I was to trade in, I'm like $12,000 worth of negative equity. I don't even know how to get out of stuff like this because majority of the time people tell you a large tree. I'm not bold enough for all that. Truthfully, I probably should have listened when they was like, get a cash car, get a cash car. Probably should have done that because I just don't feel like it's worth the extra like $400 a month. Really more than that, because it's really like, it's costing me like $1,000 a month just to keep this car.
You got the car payments, you have the higher insurance, especially if you're a younger driver. And if you got something fancy, a luxury vehicle that isn't that reliable, the maintenance is going to be rough. And throughout almost every single comment section talking about this topic, it's constantly brought up. Just commit fraud, get gap insurance, and crash the car, total it on purpose. Seems like a very smart thing to put out online for the public to see, because God forbid that ever happened to you, these insurance companies watch you like a hawk. They could find these types of comments and you could get in trouble for it. I made a completely separate video just talking about how insane insurance is now. But yet again, go over to the comment section. You have gap insurance? Wait till it's snowing or raining hard and find a nice guardrail. Oh man, okay, let's just move on.
Yesterday, I had a customer who came in looking to trade out of her 2013 Hyundai Santa Fe. We take a seat at my desk and I check her and I ask her, why do you want to trade out of your car so bad? She told me that the car is creeping up on 145,000 miles. It's old. She just wants something new. The first thing that pops up in my head is she has a paid off trade-in, so this is going to be a deal. Bruh, I was so wrong. So now, regardless of the car, the age of the car, I ask every last one of my clients, do you still make payments on this vehicle? She told me yes, and that she makes her payments to Westlake Financial. At this point, all my hopes went right out the window. But nevertheless, I take her VIN number, plug it into my system, and this is what pops up. Carfax Value said that her car was worth $1,130. Right after I plugged it into Carfax, I went and had my manager pull a payoff, and her payoff through Westlake is $13,100. So nevertheless, she's about $12,000 upside down on a 12-year-old car. And on top of that, she had no money down.
12 grand underwater on a car that's worth $1,000. It can't get much worse than that situation. We could take a look at the comments. I had someone $18,000 upside down on a Nissan Pathfinder. Got her in a Bronco Outer Banks and got her at $1,000 monthly payment. Not too bad in my book. So what is that? Easily 72, 84, possibly 96 months you're paying $1,000. On top of it, a Bronco with a plethora of issues. This is how it keeps snowballing and people are in debt for the rest of their lives. Interest rate had to be 500%, especially with those subprime borrowers. It does get into the payday loan territory. It's bad. Another comment from you guys here. It's good that there are videos like this showing the realities of car buying and the dangers of buying stuff you can't afford. I do see many comments that these videos do deter others from purchasing, getting into the same situations just to have a nice shiny 2026 model. Unless you're genuinely very wealthy and could easily afford the payments, the maintenance, the insurance, everything that goes along with it just does not seem like a good deal. And speaking of not being a good deal, even this heavily depreciated Land Rover is a ticking time bomb.
This 2019 Range Rover L depreciated over $120,000 since it was brand new. This Range Rover was $150,000 plus. That's without taxes, fees, and everything brand new. You can now get it between $30,000 and $40,000. What's going on, guys? Yusuf here, Auto Cafe, and I want to show you some new vehicles that we got in our inventory. One of them is this 2019 Range Rover L, fully optioned, with 99,000 miles. That is at a fraction of the cost of what it was brand new. Remember, depreciation happens, so that means you can appreciate them. They become more affordable. Here it is, 2019 Range Rover L.
Okay, so he just starts doing a tour of the car, but first off, somebody bought that brand new and took a $120,000+ depreciation hit. That is unreal to me. The other thing is there are people lined up to purchase this because, oh, you're in a Range Rover now. It looks super expensive and fancy. You must be wealthy. And they got it for a steal of a deal, only 30 grand. However, the entire brand is notoriously unreliable. The amount of money you're going to have to pay for maintenance and repairs constantly is just not worth it. This is one of the few brands that I understand people leasing. Even though at the end of the day, you're only renting a car, dealing with high mileage Land Rovers are awful. We could take a look at the comments. 99,000 miles in a Range Rover is equivalent to 999,000 miles in a Honda. So this thing was pushing 6 figures. You would just have to do repair after repair. It would barely be on the road. You'll pay double the price for maintenance. I like how you brushed over the 5.0 engine issues. Of course, he's trying to sell this car, so he's not going to tell you that this thing is awful. $30,000 value going to drop to 15 once it leaves the lot. But speaking of dealerships, we have a comment from one of you guys. You definitely need to make a video about those fake fees that most dealerships use on their contracts, just ripping people off. The main problem here is that customers are ignorant to the point that dealerships are able to make these illegal fees on 99% of their contracts. Those absolutely bogus markups, or putting nitrogen in the tires, floor mats that are $1,000 or $2,000. And they have many more ways to just bleed even more money out of you. But some people are still willing to pay just for the vanity and having something new. And then they wonder why they get absolutely rinsed when they try to trade it in or sell it.
Car is worth like 15. Yeah. Brother. Paid 24,000.
Yes, it's fully loaded.
I can't believe you paid 24 for it. Car is a base of the base, but you bought it from a dealership, so they gave it to you without even detailing it?
Yeah.
Here's this?
14. This one, 2019, got discontinued.
I know, but it doesn't matter. It's a 14.
No, if you go on Facebook right now, do you see the pricing?
But I don't go based off of Facebook. I go based off of wholesale.
Not an auction. Don't find an auction. The blue white interior.
See right now what they go for on auction.
It's fully loaded, literally 0 options, not even an M Sport. Now this guy got taken advantage of by a dealership as well, but he absolutely needed that 6 Series BMW. They probably told him it was fancy and rare, ooh, white interior. Pay $24,000 for a 10-year-old BMW. That's only worth 15, and he's trying to comp Facebook marketplace prices. This one's just another really rough situation, but we could go over to a clip that I see all the time with car guys.
I've never had a car for more than a year, and I finally surpassed the year mark on this car I have now, and I got the itch again. I got the itch, right? That itch to sell it, to get something new, because you wanted the next thing, right? I changed my mind. Okay, now I want this kind of practicality, or now I want to experience this. Deep breath. Okay, I've had it for a year and a half now, right? A little less than a year and a half, and I'm not selling it. Okay, I got to convince myself, and so do you, that you're not selling it. You're going to hold on to it, right? It's your baby. You got to treat that thing. And now I can start doing some work on it. Now I fixed some problems I've had, and now I can actually start doing some things. I can tune it. I can put some bolt-ons on. I can actually add an exhaust because it's such a quiet car as it is. Deep breath, right? Deep breath. I've made it. I've made it past the year.
Okay, so I put car guys into 2 different categories. You have the genuine car enthusiasts that most of the time end up buying an older vehicle that they could fix, whatever kind they want, muscle, sports car, something fun. It's already taken that depreciation hit and they know the possible problems that they have, and no matter what, it's still a vehicle, so you're gonna lose some money in the hobby, but overall, it's not that bad. Then we have the other side of the car guys that just want something new and fancy all the time. They get the itch every single year that they want this and they want that, just rolling negative equity every single time. I would venture to guess too that they like the way that people look at them in the car more than actually being a car enthusiast, and that's how you become one of the many clips that we're watching in this video. I'll never understand how people could keep cars for 10 plus years. The longest I've gone with the same car was 3 years. And again, like I said earlier in this video, if you could genuinely afford it, then go get one every year. Get it every month, I don't care. But a vast majority of the people that have this type of mentality do not have the funds to do so. We have a comment from you guys that goes well with the next couple clips. My TV remote's batteries are dead. I'll just go buy a new TV, I guess. Because this trend is still going strong on TikTok, they said I needed an oil change, so I just bought a new car. That is a lot more common than I thought. Any sort of minor inconvenience, some sort of repair or maintenance that'll maybe cost a few $100s or even a few thousand. I'm just gonna trade it in for a brand new, on average, $50,000 vehicle. That's a good choice, right? Girl math is buying a new car because you didn't want to pay for a new warranty, tire, and oil changes on your old one. Oh man, you really can't make this kind of stuff up. But with the last clip, we saw the guy talking about modifying his car, so I thought it'd be good to add this one in as well.
This is an example of what not to do with a car, ever. I had this 2015 Cruise, nice little racing stripe right there, good old logo. We had the vents for the non-existent vents in the hood. Good old carbon fiber everywhere, not from eBay. Blacked out door handles, the best part. Beautiful wing on the back here. I mean, bro. This is unacceptable, bro. This brother literally filled up his Amazon cart. I typed in Chevy Cruise mods. If you're watching this, please never touch a car again.
First, we could go over to the comment section. The wing doesn't even look that bad. And the creator just responds, brother. Why? It's only a Chevy Cruise. I don't get it. The AutoZone special and one of the worst reliable cars. I have a Chevy Cruise and it's the worst car I've ever owned. It's so terrible. And I get it. You could do whatever you want with your vehicle. Just have it paid off. People start doing mods on the bank's vehicle a lot of the time. Insane choice to me. But another thing I've come across is car guys putting legitimate mods, superchargers, turbos, whatever they want on their vehicles. And then when they go to sell it, they want the value of the modifications that they put in plus the value of the car, and that's just not how it works. Very few people want the exact same mods on the exact same car that you have, so a good rule of thumb is whatever money you put in, you're just basically burning. There's entire YouTube channels dedicated to going through Facebook Marketplace, showing all these wild listings with these inflated prices that nobody will ever buy.
Okay, so the lady at my desk right now, the one that you just looked at her trade,
Yeah.
she's looking at a new GLE 350. She was at another dealer last night, didn't get treated the way she wants to, didn't get the number on her trade. that she wants to.
She got a number, but
she didn't get the number she liked. I get that. So I said, hey, let's play this easy. Let's not play the games. I said, tell me what they gave you, tell me what your payoff is, and tell me where you're trying to be. So they gave her 19 grand. Her payoff is $35,000.
Ooh.
Now this has got to be worth a little bit more.
Oh, totally, 100%.
With the leather?
That definitely adds a little bit of value to the car.
So she's got a USAA approval. I got her on the phone right now, talking to them to see what they're able to do, if they're able to do 84 months. She said yes, because she wants to be around $1,200 a month.
People are legitimately okay walking into these terrible deals. Around $1,200 a month for 84 months. All because you want that Mercedes SUV. It's not even the AMG either. She needs to go to a Toyota dealership. $1,200 a month? The ability to roll over negative equity needs to be done away with. You make a financial mistake, now you'll live with it. Until it's paid down or pay off. But the dealerships would never do that. They'd get way less sales than they're already getting. They'll just let people sink deeper and deeper into debt.
These are the 10 highest depreciating vehicles based on their average 5-year depreciation rate. Starting at number 10, we have the Cadillac Escalade ESV with an average 5-year depreciation of 62.9%, so that's off of MSRP. Number 9 is the Tesla Model X at 63.4%, and right behind it at number 8 is the Maserati Levante at 63.7%. The Nissan Leaf comes in at number 7 with an average 5-year depreciation of 64.1%. Number 6 is the BMW 5 Series, 64.7%, and in 5th place is another Maserati. This time it's the Ghibli with a 64.7% depreciation rate. Number 4, we've got the Infiniti QX80 with an average 5-year depreciation of 65%, and now we get into our top 3, starting with the Tesla Model S at 65.2%. In second, the BMW 7 Series is at 67.1%, and finally, the vehicle in first place with the highest average 5-year depreciation at 72.2% is the Jaguar I-Pace.
Almost every vehicle on that list was listed as luxury. Weird coincidence, right? I really don't know what Jaguar's doing. I know their whole rebrand right now, kind of. I almost never see them on the road, period, but imagine somebody getting an I-Pace and losing 70+% in just a couple years. But even the first vehicle he talked about, the Escalade, very popular right now. We also have a comment that goes along with it. On that Escalade, just wanted to point out that at the top of the egregious financing, 130,000 miles with 15 miles per gallon, at $3 a gallon is about $26,000 in gas. Because in a much older video, we saw someone trying to sell, I think like a 2010 Escalade. Again, still hyping up that it's a luxury SUV. You know, you got your mom car, it's all fancy. It was a used car dealership as well, so the interest rate's going to be rough. And adding in how much you're actually going to pay just to drive around in it. Gas is not free, and we have a pretty crazy example of that right here.
Today I'm going to walk you through how much it cost this customer to own this Ram TRX the last 4 years. Let's talk about gas. The Ram TRX takes premium fuel. Over the last 81,000 miles, this customer has averaged 10 miles per gallon, which is absolutely atrocious. That is $7,000 a year in fuel. Over the 4 years this customer has owned this TRX, he has spent $27,705 filling up at the pump. The window sticker on this Ram TRX is $88,000. He traded it into us for just over $60,000. Over the course of 4 years, it costed him $27,605 in depreciation. And over the last 4 years, he has averaged paying $1,600 a year in car insurance. In total, the last 4 years, between depreciation, fuel, and insurance, zero maintenance costs, it cost this customer $61,710 to just drive this TRX on a day-to-day basis.
I would like to add a few things. I feel like his insurance was pretty low compared to most people, so it'd probably be even more expensive, along with it being a Stellantis vehicle. He didn't talk about any of the maintenance, the inevitable repairs that would come up. I bet that cost a pretty penny as well. These are just all the extra costs that people don't realize. They just see the monthly payment and look, I get to have a Mercedes or BMW, an Audi, or a 700 horsepower pickup truck, and then they get absolutely destroyed by everything else.
A 2024 GMC Sierra. He wanted the truck for a bunch of their business stuff, but she absolutely hates riding around in it. Says,
well, we don't want that. Turbo diesel?
Yes.
What does he want?
He wants something like an AMG. He inquired on an E53.
Do you think it needs tires?
But I guess they do come with like
truck tires, or yeah. There's 668 of them in the country for sale.
Yeah.
And the median price is 75 grand.
So when I literally just put the car into AccuTrade with nothing else, but I mean, he's going to be upside down regardless. He's going to pay off of 94.
So we're about 29 grand upside down. These trucks are difficult because they're nice, no doubt, but there are a lot of them. Like there are just so many of them out there. It's very difficult to stand out in the crowd of, 680 trucks like this one.
Yeah.
You're selling them up against new ones that get heavily discounted. I think 65, 450 is high as I'd want to be, especially because it's red. Like, don't get me wrong, I like red cars, but they have a much smaller audience.
So you're talking almost 30,000 upside down on a diesel truck that most people would say do keep their values a bit better because it is very utilitarian. You could use it as an actual work truck, but they are getting so ridiculously expensive now that he still owed almost $100,000 on it. It's legitimately not a vehicle for the normal middle class anymore.
Check out how absolutely horrible the depreciation has been on the Bentley Bentayga. Here we have a 2022 Bentley Bentayga for sale with only 22,000 miles for $115,000. And this exact Bentayga had an original MSRP of $256,000 in 2022. So if you bought this car brand new back in 2022, you would have lost yourself over $140,000 in less than 3 years. Now, since this car is depreciated so much, does it make it a safe purchase here? I wouldn't call this a fully safe purchase here. This isn't the type of car that ever fully bottoms out. It just continues to depreciate, but as time goes on, the depreciation rate really slows. You can drive this car for a couple years and you're not gonna lose much money. I do think this is a lot of car for 115 grand, and it's a pretty perfect daily in my opinion.
Again, something that is almost never talked about as well is the maintenance. Bentleys are not known for their reliability, and you think fixing up a Mercedes is gonna cost a lot? This is in the Rolls-Royce territory. Oh man, that bill is going to be awful. So possibly the depreciation might not be the worst if you just drive it around for a few years, but that does not mean you're not going to lose a ton more money just keeping this on the road. Now up next, we do technically have another vehicle and a pretty extreme example of some crazy depreciation.
This has got to be the biggest depreciation hit that I've seen all year. Now, I don't know a lot about RVs, but even I know this is nice, and it should be. The original owner paid $814,000 for this in 2022. But before you call this guy a dum-dum for what he lost, let me tell you what he had actually bought in the first place. This isn't just any RV. This is basically a luxury penthouse on wheels. 4 slide-outs, king bed with en-suite bath, full kitchen with wine fridge, fireplace, heated floors, washer dryer, 3 AC units, and a friggin' 360-degree camera system. But here's the brutal reality about luxury RVs. Obviously, they're not investments, they're experiences. The first owner paid a premium for 3 years of memories and what's basically a rolling mansion. Was it worth it? That's between him and his accountant. But I'll tell you this, those experiences cost him $21 a mile, and he drove this coach 22,000 miles. That's right, this just sold on Bring a Trailer for $350,000, a whopping $464,000 depreciation discount. The new owner, he's got to be happy about his purchase, even if he bought it to live in it.
I don't know, I agree with the comment here. Just buy a nice house for that. Another one here, I beg to differ. There are people who bought the Ferrari SF90 for $900,000 and now they're worth under $500,000. I do remember seeing a couple examples of that a long time ago, but still going from $816 down to $350. I understand that most likely whoever purchased this originally does legitimately have that kind of money, but still, seeing $450,000 evaporate, I don't know if I would be able to handle it. Probably not. Now, even though we talked about heavy depreciation throughout this entire video, we do have an example here that there are still some vehicles, if you decide to buy, will have very minimal losses even if you do daily drive it.
I want to show you how good 4Runners hold their value. So this is a 2022 4Runner with 63,000 miles. It's going for $40,000. The sticker for this brand new 3 years ago was $44,000.
Now this goes for both the 4Runners and Tacomas, the previous generation, not the brand new ones, but to be honest, they just straight up work. The engines are super reliable, they last hundreds of thousands of miles. They do have some tech, but nothing super crazy, so that can't break, and people love these vehicles and keep them alive. I bought an SR5 new in 2017, totaled it with 126,000 miles in 2022, and insurance gave me $2,000 less than what I paid for it. Now we could go over to the next clip that's the complete opposite of what we just saw.
Imagine losing $30,000 in just 2 years. This is a 2023 Ford Mustang Mach E. Let me tell you, the inside of this car is not bad. The outside of the car looks pretty good. But when you buy one of these, you can lose so much money. Like I said, this one has lost over $30,000 in value in 2 years. The MSRP on this back in 2023 was $50,000, almost $51,000. Today, currently, this thing is worth $21,000. And then they got to reinvent stuff like the door handle. You have to have this push button now to open the door. And there's no physical way to get into this car besides that push button from the outside. So when the battery dies, you have to go over to the front bumper. You got to push this panel in, pull this out, and then take these two cables right here. These are the cables that you use. You jump this with a jump box, which I don't know where you would have because it'd probably be in the car that's locked in the car. Opens the front. Then you jump the battery, then you can open the door again. Awesome design.
Lease. Always lease an EV or buy one after the first owner took the depreciation hit. I agree with that as well. We recently went over people regretting buying EVs. And to be honest, looking at the used market, if you have a home charger, the deals aren't that bad if you want an electric vehicle. I still would not purchase something like the Mustang Mach E. I don't like the way it looks. Coming from a manufacturer who doesn't make EVs normally as well. And then to add on top of it, the ridiculous design. You couldn't have a door handle. It has to be some sort of odd button on the window. Just making modern car design worse and worse.
I have a 24 Dodge Hornet RT with the all-wheel drive. There's just a ton of negative equity. So I don't know if I'm in a position to lease to get rid of that negative equity or take rebates or whatever is out there.
Did you lease it or did you buy it?
I bought it.
Leasing would have been the best way to go for those cars. When you buy it, you just encounter so much negative equity. Do you know what your current payoff is?
42 grand.
The problem with these cars is that the leases on them were like dirt cheap. They're like $300 a month. So the values on them have tanked. So at the present moment, this car is probably worth like 20 grand. And how much are you paying per month?
$895.
And I'm assuming you have, what, 5 years left?
Yeah.
Your negative equity alone is already broaching your monthly payment. Unless there was a need that's just so urgent outside of any financial situation, it wouldn't make sense for you to do so because you'd be driving, in my opinion, a lesser vehicle. For example, if I leased you a Nissan Sentra with just the ultimate base model Sentra, you're probably going to pay about the same thing that you're paying now.
You know it's bad when a car salesman tells you to just keep the vehicle. You are that underwater in this Dodge Hornet. Almost $900 a month for this thing. Nobody wanted them in the first place. I just truly don't understand how people get into these situations. $895 on a Dodge Hornet is insane. Top comment. I leased one for $190, no down payment. I don't like the way they look along with the reliability issues, but if you absolutely had to lease something just to get from point A to point B, $190 a month isn't that bad, especially compared to $900 and you own it. But we'll finish off this video with another very extreme example of an entire car company going underwater. So if you purchase one of these vehicles, it basically has no value now.
We have a client who's trying to trade in his 2023 Fisker Ocean 1. It's a launch edition, so it's the most loaded version that you can get. Now, he paid close to about $70,000 for the car brand new. He currently owes about $30,000 on the car, and the car is not even worth that. MMR on a 23 with about 12,000 miles is worth about 12,000 roughly. He's a bit upside down. He's open to anything that can get him unburied into this vehicle.
Okay, so this clip goes on a lot longer, but a little bit more context in the comment section. From a Fisker to an Alfa Romeo. The man is not making sound financial decisions. From a Fisker to an Alfa Romeo, out of the frying pan and into the fire. I know I say the same things over and over again, but Alfa Romeo, another Stellantis vehicle, just not the best choice to make. But hopefully these types of videos help anybody out there if they don't have the car knowledge, and you could dodge a bullet and not get into 5 figures worth of negative equity. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.